everyone. My name is Camry Stevens, and I'm going to be talking to you guys today about love. If we would have been face-to-face, I would have had you guys answer a question. I'm going to ask it anyways. Feel free to answer it if you want to still. But the question is, what does love mean to you? Well, if I were to answer that question, love means to me something that, you share with someone or something. It's how you feel when you are with somebody, when you want to share every moment with that person or thing. You want to share every sad moment with them, every happy moment with them, and you really just care for them so deeply that you love them. I think love is a complicated and confusing thing for a lot of people. I think that love can be for a place, just like it could be for a person. I think that love can, be for food even too, or like a sport or a sports team. But I do think everybody's opinion of love and everybody's definition of love is different. I made a little slideshow of what love really is to me. And before I show this to you, just know I am a videographer and photographer. So all these videos and pictures you're about to see, I did those myself, so I have full rights to them. I promise I didn't copyright anything. Okay, and the first picture I wanted to show you is of me and my husband. We actually just got married March 17th. And I think I fully didn't know what love was until I met him. But yeah. And then so I think love can also be family. Like we all have siblings and parents and aunts and uncles, or even a friend that we're so close to and so love so much that we call family. And family is someone that we really care about and we really love. And I think a lot of us have that in common. This one was one of my favorite videos I've actually ever done for anybody. The love in that room was unbelievable. After the baby was born and the mom holding it for the first time and the dad holding it for the first time, it just was the most loving moment I think I've ever been able to really see and experience. And then, of course, our love for children, as a lot of us feel, because we're all going kind of into a field with children. Okay, so I'm going to talk about somebody that we've all heard of before, and you're probably all wondering kind of why I really am talking about love and what this really has to do with anything. But we actually, as a class, have talked about love often. And I don't think I even really realized that until I really started to think deeply about what I wanted to talk about. So the theorist that I'm wanting to talk about today is named Abraham Maslow. he came up with a pyramid called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the bottom, it's your psychological needs, and then it's safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. And Abraham Maslow said to reach self-actualization, we need to accomplish all of the other levels of the pyramid first. We can't have one without the other. I'm more going to focus on, obviously, the love and belonging today, but I did want to bring up a little bit about the first level as well, which is the psychological needs. Psychological needs are like food and water, warmth and rest. And as a child who grew up in a home that had all of that, I kind of just took it as it was. Didn't realize how important it actually was until I started looking into it like this. About 16 million American children struggle with hunger every year. That means 1 in 5 children are starving or aren't getting their basic meals every day. And when I read that, that broke my heart. I think, me especially, I forget about the kids out there who really do starve. I've never had to deal with that before, and I couldn't imagine having to deal with that. And I think I sometimes forget that there's a lot of people that don't have that basic need. And we need to have that basic need. A child needs to have that basic need. If they don't get that need, they aren't really going to be able to accomplish what they are made to accomplish. They aren't going to become their best self, the self-actualization at the top of the pyramid. They're never going to reach it if they don't have this first. Then obviously the next one I wanted to talk about was love and belonging. I think that this is incredibly important, especially me going into being an educator. I think that we need to, as teachers or counselors or whatever you're going into, we need to help that child feel like they belong somewhere. And I think that that is hard for some people because, you know, we kind of just most of us have grown up and we have felt like we belong somewhere. In class, when we were talking about the different type of parenting styles, we talked about how teachers can help parents who struggle being parents, pretty much. And there was one thing that stood out to me that I've always gone back to as I've, been going through all of my courses. Whenever I'm asked what I'm learning, I usually bring this up because I never really thought about being a teacher like this. But one thing on one of the PowerPoint slides, it said, be available for parents to share concerns, accomplishments, and experiences. They want to know they are not alone. I think there has been many times in all of our lives where we have felt alone, where we have felt that we really wanted to talk to somebody. And sometimes there was nobody there to talk to, and we truly were alone. And I think every single one of us has felt that in some way, where we have felt that we are alone. I think where all of us have felt that, parents of our future students are also going to be feeling those feelings. Some maybe more often than others, but everybody feels that sense of I'm alone and I don't really know who to talk to or really have anybody to talk to. And I love, love, love that it said at the beginning of the sentence to be available. Not just to be there or just show up every once in a while. It's we are available for parents to come to us when they have concerns about how we're teaching or what their children's learning or how their children is really doing. They can come to us because we are available for them. And I never really thought about my role as a teacher in that way. I always thought of it, I'm there for the kids. I'm going to help the kids feel loved and belonging, and I'm going to teach them and help them grow, become the person they want to become. But some children's parents need that as well. There are those parents that really do struggle, and I think as educators, we really can help them and be there for them. In the child abuse section of class, we also talked about some things I wanted to bring up that I had never really noticed. In one of the slides, it said an estimated 1,740 children died as a result of abuse or neglect. That's 5 children a day. They didn't just die from abuse, they died from neglect as well. And that breaks my heart, because children don't deserve to be neglected. They haven't lived their lives yet. They're young. They don't know everything yet. And for them to be neglected breaks my heart. And I know as an educator, I want to be someone who can love that child and care for that child when I can. I know that I'm not going to be with them all the time every day, but I want to be that safe house for them that they can come to and feel like they belong somewhere. I think there's so many children in this world who they're dying from being neglected. And I think that is truly depressing. And I think as educators or whatever you're going into, we can make a difference by being there for the child, by being there and helping them become who they're supposed to become, to reach that top part of the pyramid, to reach their self-actualization point. They have to have every level. And most of the levels, some children aren't even reaching the first level. And as educators, we can help them. I mean, if a child isn't reaching every level in the pyramid, I do honestly believe that they are going to have behavioral problems. They're going to have academic problems. I think as educators and counselors and whatever we're going to be in their lives, we can truly help them get past that or accomplish that. And we can help them become to reach their full potential. I was an intern at an elementary school for a semester a little while ago, and there was this little boy, and I can honestly say that I did not love him. He would cry every time I would take him out to do his math times tables. He would cry all the time. He would never listen to me, very frustrated all the time, made me frustrated all the time. And I honestly, this poor kid was just kind of depressing all the time. Like, he was just always so sad. And I remember one day in the semester when I took him out to do his times tables, he did the same thing he always did, and he cried. And I finally was like, oh, please just get out. I don't even want to try and help you anymore. I'm so sick of you crying all the time. And he left, and then the rest of the day went on, and I went home and I thought about it, and I realized this child, something is missing. Some basic need is not fully being met. Whether that's at school or at home, wherever, it's not there. So what I decided to do is, I didn't love that kid, but I honestly decided that I was going to care for him, and that I wanted him to feel like he belonged somewhere when he was with me. So the next day when I brought him out, I kind of changed my whole routine with him, and he reacted a little differently to it. He still cried and was still frustrating, but wasn't as bad as he used to be, and I was like, maybe this is going to work. So I kept doing that, and eventually he did stop crying when he was with me. When he saw me in the halls, he would give me a high five or wave really fast to me. And I realized that just by caring about him, he changed his behavior with me. And I, as well, changed with him. And I think that totally changed my whole opinion of teaching. And I think that was the moment I had of like, I really can make a difference in children's lives when I have my own students. I think we're very lucky what we're going into. we get to be surrounded by children all day, and we get to influence them. And we need to make sure we're influencing them for the good. We need to make sure we're available for the parents to come to if they have any questions or concerns. We need to be there for them. I want to be there for them. I want a mom to feel comfortable enough that she can come to me about her son who is struggling. Or even if she is just struggling and doesn't know how to help him anymore at home. I want her to feel comfortable enough with me and that I'm available enough that she can come to me. Or the whole family can. I want to do things that invites the family, shows how important you are as a guardian to this child. Because honestly, the parents and guardians are the most important role in a child's life. And kind of how the child is going to grow up really does depend a lot on the parents. And I think as educators, we have this unique role of getting to deal with both. We get to deal with the parents and with the child. We get to gain those trust relationships with them. And I think that we are remarkably lucky